3 more districts are earmarked to be carved out of Tororo district, subject to approval by Parliament of a resolution President Museveni reached with the natives in April 2025. Tororo municipality is planned for an upgrade into a city. The divisions will increase the number of districts from 146 to 149. The astronomical increase of the districts is a subject of utter disbelief among the former Constituent Assembly delegates.
We have to rethink the system of local government. What we have now as wayward. You have over 100 districts in a country like Uganda. You have literally 70% of these are not viable.
Decentralization would be a good thing, but I think, and with the benefit of hindsight now, we went too far.
I regret decentralization. They are too small. I think they should have been bigger, either devolution like Kenya or a federal system.
The wishful thinking of the framers of the Constitution was for the retention of the 39 districts in place as of 1995. 17 of the districts were traditional administrative units and the 22 others were created by the latter governments.
If you asked me if the powers were mine, I would have the political institutions, the councils, at the former district, the districts of the 1960s. Bukedi.
I don't agree that the system should have 146 districts. We should have 15 centers, which are sub-regions. We should give governments to regions, and this government will now train our people to become leaders. Secondly, we need to reduce the number of people who are in government, and we've got to show them that we want leaders, not people who are looking for money.
Delegates to the Constituent Assembly say that the decentralized system was a condition set in exchange for the adopted unitary system of governance.
The government of Uganda appreciated decentralization and it came into existence in a phased manner. It first started off in 1987 when the NRM government brought in the resistant councils. But of course, it was not strong because it lacked the legal framework. And I think along the way, in 1993, the Resistance Council statute was put in place.
The delegates intended to break away from the 1967 system they were critical of for having bestowed powers on the central government.
It was argued that a strong central government not only does it monopolize resources and channel them where they want the resources to go, but in terms of management of society, they bring in tribalism, they bring in nepotism. It is all monopolized. Power is monopolized. So one of the ways of reducing that is allow power to go at the lower levels.
A whole chapter is inscribed in the Constitution to provide for the transfer of the devolved functions, powers and responsibilities to the local governments.
Incidentally, when we talk about matters of local governments, at least I have a hint on what it should be. I've been Speaker of a town council, by then it was Shira. I was Deputy Mayor the following term.
The district setup is composed of an elected leadership as the highest authority, with the council being the legislative arm made up of councillors and the executive arm headed by the local council 5-chairperson.
The resolutions of the council.
It establishes a service commission bestowed with such responsibilities as the recruitment of staff, provides for a chief administrative officer as the chief accounting officer appointed by the district service commission. The districts are mandated to levy, charge, collect and appropriate fees and taxes on behalf of the government, for which they retain a proportion.
Much as they don't have powers, it's what we call political decentralization, because at least we still have a sign of saying that the people can still elect their councillors.
We have seen local development, improvement in local development in terms of infrastructures. Government, majorly those days, were embarking on the national roads, and connectivity within the communities was really very bad. So allocation of resources to local government improved community access. We have been in position to see cumulative improvement in terms of access to clean water, sanitation services, and then also generally. Remember those days, issues to do with open defecation was too much. If you go to local communities, you'd really get the whole community messed up.
However, there is concern about the discrepancy between what is written and implemented.
There has been a lot of competition. First of all, let me tell you that majority of people in ministries, department agencies, do not like decentralization. Because you see, we are talking about transfer of resources from the center to the local people. And now, this in one way or the other made the budget very limited for them. So some of the issues, even in reporting, both through intelligence and through the general line reporting there are people who are biased at the center. They send information which blackmail local government so that they can use the advantage to convince government and parliament for them to decentralize resources or control.
Today, these accounting officers are sent from the central government. They are not recruited from district level. And that's why whenever you see issues of local governments not going well, the accounting officers, they don't have any attachment to those local governments. They are entirely making of the central government.
You have the District Service Commission appointed by the chairman and the council. But anybody to get a job there must pay. So all these were not envisaged. That's why now the cow were taken back to the center, because there was a lot of insecurity on the position of the cow. You could not operate.
The creation of parallel political systems in the districts is discredited for the usurped mandate of the local government.
In what you have now, you have two power centers. You have an elected government and an appointed government. Even though constitutionally and legally the appointed structure has limited role, but has gone beyond that limited role. However, this is doing everything that is unforeseen.
Yeah.
Even settling land disputes.
The elected leaders had authority, they had power to almost do everything they desired. These days we have quite a number of power centers. We have the minister in charge of Kampala, who has even a right to veto a decision by council. We have the RCCs, who are in charge of security and can make a decision that is actually against the will of the people. So we have the power centers that have created a menace.
If you go to any district in Uganda, where do you find people lining? You'll not find them at Chairman LC5's office. You'll not find them lining at Kao's office. You'll not find them at the DSO's office. You'll find people lining at the RDC's office. It is the same story. If you are buying meat, you may find about 5 stores with meat, but people are lining at one, meaning that this person has the right meat than the others. So the reason why people line at the RDC's office, they have hope in that office that it can solve their
District procurement units. Today we have what we call lotting. The center takes on different tenders or takes on different lots and decides who is going to be the contractor of given roads, of given buildings, and those contractors, it's one contractor serving several districts, but they are from the center. Then at the end of it all, districts are supposed to answer, municipalities are supposed to answer of a person they are not responsible for, because that person has been recruited from the center.
The pundits regret making it easy to create more districts, a situation they hold responsible for the increased number of local governments.
The loose manner in which we drafted the ability to multiply districts. You know, the criteria there, which laid emphasis on the desire of the people and so on and so on. I think that is wrong. It was wrong. But secondly, their protection at the center should have been reinforced.
Because of politics, where people could request for, demand for districts, to an extent of them eating rats, okay, then politically the president gives them a district. Fragmenting the districts to an extent of creating a district that cannot even be able to pay the salaries of its staff is a very bad thing that has destroyed decentralization.
They are concerned by the inability of the districts to generate revenue besides receiving a limited allocation from the government.
Now there's a district council in Agago, in Lamo, then there's a council in my sub-county. Let me not go too far because that's not the purpose. And so much money goes into this. For me, Agago would be a delivery point, not a government. If the powers were mine, all these districts would be delivery points. All these sub-counties should be delivery points.
I'm throwing this to Ugandans. Let us ask ourselves, now only 8% of the national budget is given to local governments countrywide. Now the 92% of the budget goes to do what? Goes to do what? And we should have people explain this. Because the bigger magnitude of service delivery is at the local government level. We have primary schools to be supported. We have health centers to be supported.
Whereas pundits are alive to the unique realities in communities that necessitate the creation of the districts, they blame themselves for having failed to put stringent measures to guide the formation. As to whether the number of districts can now be reduced, that appears a near impossibility, at least under the regime. Jackson Onyango, NTV.